A fourth tip for cultivating a loving relationship with God is really to serve God, and to be Christ-like and to be an ambassador for God. We want to follow His footsteps. So how can we be of service to our community? How can we give back? So a number of ways that come to mind are through community service, through feeding the hungry, through mentoring a child, a young boy or a girl, through perhaps serving in your faith community. Some of the ways that really fill my spirit and allow me to feel very purposeful in giving back have been through serving in my faith community and actually creating a health and wellness ministry. I'm passionate around teaching people how to live a life that is holistically healthy, spiritually, financially, relationally, physically. And so in that, we did a lot of different fun fitness activities, but we also incorporated God's Word through reading a book and coming up with a kind of book club, boot camp where we did fun fitness workouts and bringing that into the ministry. So how can you give back and be of value? We're going to talk about more of that in our E segment of empowering others, but it is really a part of loving God is to be of service. And so He didn't create us just to be consumers on this planet, but He created us really for the well-being of mankind around us and to serve others. So really to spend some time, if you're not giving back in any way, and think of ways that you can give back, whether it's once a week or once a month. But I do encourage you because that's where true fulfillment comes in. Other areas, maybe I have just volunteered as a speaker for at-risk girls around self-esteem and just positive youth development because I have such a passion for young women and just helping them to make right choices. And so if you're not a person that is as people-oriented, for you it may be doing neighborhood cleanups, or it may be helping the elderly, or just going to perhaps hold babies, that are in ICU. So there's so many different things that can be done, and I'll even post a couple of organizations so you can see ways to get involved in your community. The fifth and final tip for loving God, I believe, is being a good steward. And when we think of stewardship, some of us just think of finances, but I'm going to really challenge us, myself, and you to be a good steward over all that God has given us. And so sometimes we are so busy focusing on what we don't have that we're not really appreciating, and it kind of ties into gratitude, what we do have. So that's a good steward over our time, our talents, our treasures, and our temple. So our time, in addition to going to work, in addition to maybe even serving in our community, how are we spending our hours in a day? Are we spending a lot of time do you desire more abundance in different areas of our lives? So for example, if we are not making enough money to cover our bills or to save, but we're spending hours on end daily or weekly on the phone gossiping, watching TV and reality TV, perhaps we're not being the best steward over our time. And once God sees us giving Him our best, He definitely is going to reward that. So I challenge you to just think about the areas that you feel that you're maybe lacking in some areas, and think about, are you giving God your best? It's not about being perfect, but it's about being the best you can be where you are and with what you have. Let's look at our talents. Are we giving back? Are we serving? Are we operating in our talents and our gifts? If you are not able to operate in the fullness of your giftings and talents and maybe your full-time job, are you still operating part-time as a hobby, or in a way that still cultivates those very unique giftings that you have? So you're creating a space and you're creating a way to maybe make something that you really love doing more full-time, but you have to start somewhere. So if we look at our treasures, if we look at our finances, are we tithing? Are we giving an offering to God because He's given it all to us? Are we showing Him that we have faith and trust and honor Him for what He's given us? He's given us 100% of what we have. Are we willing to pour back 10% and an offering to keep the resources flowing, especially if you're involved in a faith community? So look at, are you tithing your talents? Are you tithing your treasures? They say that there will be, there's a good way to tell what a person cares about is to look at their checkbook. And so where do you spend a lot of your money? That's something to really look at. And not just our monetary treasure, but I would even petition you to think about, how do you treat your other assets or your other belongings? How do you treat your car? How do you treat your home? Is it clean? Is it taken care of? Or do you mistreat it? How do you treat your clothing? Do you throw it around? I happen to like clothes, but I have a lot of them because I do take care of them and I treat them well and I don't misuse them. And I believe that that's why God always just seems to, a lot of things are given to me, even furnishings and things like that, because I have a high appreciation for what it is I have and I try to take care of it. And I didn't always feel that way, but I've learned over time to really respect everything that God's blessed me with. And then our temple. We talked about this a little bit in loving ourselves and self-care, but you definitely want to honor and respect your temple, your body, by how we eat and proper rest and making sure our diet is healthy, that we're exercising, and all of those things that are going to keep our body and our temple healthy and whole. So I hope you really enjoyed those 5 strategies or tips for cultivating and nurturing your relationship with God, to love God. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next topic, which will be, how do we love others? Thank you. It's been an honor to serve as your coach today. And again, if you're interested in coaching or training or consulting, please feel free to contact me, Naya at myutopialiving.com, or 1-888-747-9947. Thank you, and make it a positive and utopian day.